We have to know who won. We have to know who won. They tell you the police officers are villains. This is the group. And they're heroes. No. They even tell you that your children must be indoctrinated to believe that the heroes who crossed the Delaware were driven by hatred and malice. They change your history. A vote for Joe Biden is a vote to give this radical movement absolute power and unchecked control over every aspect of American life. Joe Biden, he's not all there. You get a little bit of larger frame, don't you? No, I know those glasses. You got to get a little. I'll tell him. He doesn't want to have people look at that surgery on the eyes. It didn't work out. Joe Biden and the socialist left are absolutely convinced of their own moral superiority. I don't know if he is but they are. They are. He isn't. Look, let's face it. He's shot. Same time. Who said that? Who said that? That was exact timing, right? You copied me from another space. While their agenda devastates the poor and the American middle class will be devastated. They support crippling shutdowns that crush the blue-collar jobs while they stay home and work. They close down your schools, your children, while they hire private tutors for their children. They ban you from going to church while they let left-wing extremists burn down your church. You can only meet if it's a protest. So you know what we do? Like even in this state, I call this a protest. Otherwise, they don't let you leave. You can't go to church, right? You can't go to church. What they're doing to our churches and our synagogues and all of that is just terrible. You see what's going on. Even when the church wants to go into a field and stay apart, they say, no, you can't do that. You know, it's like a terrible thing. They lecture you on the need for open borders that flood your cities with illegal drugs and gangs while they themselves live in walled-off compounds. They want to defund your police and confiscate your guns simultaneously while they themselves are protected with armed guards. No, we will protect your Second Amendment 100%. There is only one way to preserve, protect, and defend the American way of life. You must show up on November 3rd, okay? Don't worry about the first or second, because I know you too well. The Biden-Harris economic policies of increasing taxes and regulations, biggest tax increase in the history of our country is what they're proposing, would pulverize our middle class. Their plan is projected to hammer the typical American family's income by over $6,500 a year in the Wall Street Journal. By contrast, I cut taxes and regulations at a level nobody's ever done before and raise middle-class families' incomes over $6,000 in just 3 short years. And that's not including energy, which is a tremendous, what we've done with energy is tremendous. Joe Biden has pledged a $4 trillion tax hike, socialized medicine, an avalanche of job-killing regulations, a return to globalist trade deals, and he vowed the total destruction of the Pennsylvania oil industry and fracking. Fracking is gone. Fracking is gone. And he said that loud and clear for a year until he realized that he has to win in Pennsylvania. But fracking is dead because their side, it's dead. You saw AOC go out and say, no, 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 you can't say that when Biden switched. And he never had one question from the press. How could you say it for a year and then all of a sudden switch when you walk into Pennsylvania? Now, fracking would be dead. Joe Biden's plan to abolish American energy is an economic death sentence for Pennsylvania. A vote for Biden is a vote to ban fracking and to send your state into a nightmare of poverty and depression. That's what's going to happen. It's your single biggest industry by far, probably 1 million jobs one way or the other. And what it would do to a country, because our country has low energy costs. You and Texas and others. Think of Texas. He's running in Texas. We're doing very well in Texas, but if you believe the fake news, they'll tell you, oh, it's very close. It's not close at all. And it wasn't close 4 years ago. Think of Texas. It's very close. He's against oil, he's against guns, and he's against religion. And then they say, Texas is very close. Think of that, right? He's against oil, guns, and God. Texas is very close. Too close to call. I don't think so. I think Texas is going to be very strong for us. Can you imagine going into Texas, say, we're going to take your guns away, and by the way, we're going to close up every oil well that you have? Well, vote for me. Vote for Joe. I don't think so. I don't think so. If Biden wins, there will be no fracking, no oil, no natural gas, no jobs, and no future. Under Biden, gas prices will explode, family incomes will plummet, and the fracking industry will be outlawed forever. Forever. With your vote, I will cut middle-class taxes even more. I mean, we cut them at the highest level in the history of our country, even more. And you saw what it did. That's why we're coming back so quick, because we have a strong foundation, a base. And I will always defend and promote Pennsylvania energy, and there will be no more lockdowns. We're not going to have lockdowns. We will never lock down again. Joe Biden would appoint the most radical left-wing cabinet in history. Beto O'Rourke will be in charge of gun confiscation. Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren will be in charge of the United States Treasury, according to what they say. AOC +3 will run the climate policy. I wonder if she ever even took a course in climate. I don't think so. Because it's the... I didn't say it, you did. This can only happen in Pennsylvania. Don't forget, I went to school here. You know, he likes to throw around the Pennsylvania thing. Look at it differently.